Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to lose your best friend, only to find them again when all hope seemed lost? This is the incredible story of Snowy, a white dog who embarked on an extraordinary journey of survival and reunion. It had been more than 2 years since the white dog had last seen his owner. Back then, he was just a lively pup named Snowy, dashing through the streets with endless energy, tail wagging at every little thing. But one careless moment was enough to separate him from the girl who loved him most, Lily Parker. From that day, Snowy wandered endlessly. He grew up on the streets, hungry and alone, his once bright coat now matted and dull. He learned quickly how harsh the world could be. Nights were spent in freezing alleys, meals scavenged from trash bins, and storms endured without shelter. Yet through it all, he never let go of one fragile hope that someday, somehow, he would see Lily again. The streets were unforgiving, and Snowy faced countless challenges. He dodged speeding cars, narrowly escaped dog catchers, and fought off larger strays for scraps of food. His playful spirit dimmed as survival became his sole focus. But even in his darkest moments, a faint memory of warm hugs and gentle words kept him going. Lily never forgot him either. After Snowy vanished, she searched tirelessly. She walked neighborhoods calling his name, plastered posters on telephone poles, posted photos online, and asked strangers for help. Months passed, then a year, then another. Each time she thought she spotted him, her heart would leap only to break again when it wasn't Snowy. Slowly, painfully, she began to accept what she feared the most. Maybe her best friend was gone forever. The pain of loss never truly faded for Lily. She'd find herself pausing at pet store windows, her eyes drawn to white puppies that reminded her of Snowy. Sometimes she'd wake from dreams where she found him, only to face the crushing reality of his absence. But life had to go on, and Lily tried her best to move forward, even as a piece of her heart remained missing. Then, one ordinary afternoon, everything changed. Lily was driving home from work, waiting at a red light. Gaze drifted out the window and froze. Standing on the side of the road was a thin, trembling white dog. His ribs showed beneath his dirty fur. His eyes locked with hers, and for a heartbeat the world seemed to stop. Time seemed to stand still as Lily's mind raced. Could it really be him, after all this time? She blinked hard, afraid the vision might disappear. But the dog remained, his gaze fixed on her with an intensity that made her breath catch in her throat. The dog wagged his tail, hesitant at first, then with growing force as recognition lit his eyes. Suddenly, as if pulled by an invisible thread, he bolted forward, racing straight toward her car. He stopped just in front of it, tail whipping wildly, whole body shaking with emotion. His eyes pleaded, "It's me. I'm here. Don't you recognize me?" Lily's heart hammered in her chest. She threw open the car door and leapt out, tears already streaming down her cheeks. "Snowy," she cried. The dog stood still, unsure, staring at her as if he couldn't believe it either. She dropped to her knees, arms wide open, but Snowy didn't leap into them. Too much time, too much pain. He hesitated, torn between memory and fear. The air was thick with tension as human and dog faced each other, separated by years of absence and hardship. Lily's voice trembled as she called his name again, softer this time, filled with all the love and longing she'd carried for so long. Snowy's ears perked up at the familiar sound, a flicker of recognition passing through his eyes. Desperate to show she was still the same girl, Lily reached into her car and pulled out some food. She held it out with shaking hands, whispering softly, "It's okay, boy. It's me." Snowy edged closer, sniffed, then cautiously took a bite. Relief washed over Lily until shadows moved behind him. Out of the alley came 3 more strays, just as skinny, just as broken, watching nervously. They were his companions, his only family during the years he was lost. The sight of the other dogs caught Lily off guard. She hadn't considered that Snowy might not be alone. These animals, with their matted fur and wary eyes, told a story of shared struggle and survival. They huddled close to Snowy, clearly bonded by their experiences on the streets. Snowy turned his head toward Lily, then back at the others. His eyes seemed to say, "Please, they need help too." In that moment, Lily saw not just her lost pet, but a loyal friend who had found a way to care for others even in the midst of his own hardship. It was a testament to the dog she had raised and loved. The sight shattered Lily's heart. She sobbed openly, kneeling on the sidewalk as all 4 dogs gathered around the food. Snowy ate, but kept glancing back at her, terrified she might vanish again. Lily reached forward, her hand trembling as she stroked the filthy fur she once brushed daily. "You're safe now," she whispered through tears. "I won't leave you again." As traffic continued to flow around them, Lily made a decision that would change not just her life, but the lives of 4 desperate animals. She couldn't bear the thought of separating Snowy from his newfound family, nor could she leave any of them to face the dangers of the streets again. That day, she didn't just bring Snowy home. She brought all 4. She gave them food, warmth, and love. But more than that, she gave them a future. For the first time in years, none of them had to fight to survive another night. They had a home. The journey wasn't easy. The dogs were understandably wary, unused to the comforts of domestic life. Snowy, while remembering his past with Lily, had been changed by his experiences. It took time, patience, and endless love to help them adjust. Veterinary visits, proper nutrition, and gentle care slowly transformed their physical appearance. But the real miracle was in watching their spirits heal. Snowy gradually reclaimed his playful nature, his tail wagging with increasing frequency. The other dogs, too, began to trust and even seek out affection. Lily's home, once quiet and tinged with sadness, now echoed with the sounds of paws on hardwood and happy barks. Lily's life changed dramatically as well. Caring for 4 rescue dogs was a huge responsibility, but one she embraced wholeheartedly. She rearranged her schedule, her home, and her priorities to accommodate her new family. The love she received in return was beyond measure. As weeks turned to months, the bond between Lily and her dogs grew stronger. Snowy, once again her constant companion, seemed to understand the magnitude of their reunion. He rarely left her side, as if making up for lost time. The other dogs, too, flourished under her care, each developing their own unique personality and place in the household. Their story didn't end there. Inspired by her experience, Lily became an advocate for animal rescue. She shared Snowy's tale on social media, raising awareness about the plight of stray animals and the importance of microchipping pets. Her posts touched hearts and inspired others to open their homes to animals in need. Looking back, Lily realized that losing Snowy had been one of the most painful experiences of her life. But finding him again and gaining 3 more loyal companions in the process had brought a depth of joy she never thought possible. It was a reminder that sometimes, even in our darkest moments, hope and love can find a way to bring us home.